book is really kind of, I'm flipping the script on the traditional English country house romance, which is always about some girl that needs to marry a rich guy. Now we have a guy who is half British, half Chinese. His dad is a lord, an earl actually, and his mother is a former Hong Kong supermodel. But he's the one that needs to marry up and marry well. So in this scene, we meet his mother, the Countess Arabella, and she's really kind of to become the heart and soul of the book, I think. The character that people love to hate. And we meet her family doctor, Dr. Tong, who becomes a very important character as well in the book. But, sorry, I have to point out that Thomas approached the hallway leading to Arabella's suite. Gracie, the Countess's lady's maid, who was hovering outside the suite, greeted Thomas with a look of relief and immediately turned to knock the door. "Dr. Tong, ma'am," Gracie announced as she pushed the door open without waiting for acknowledgement. Thomas entered the Countess's morning room, where he found her dramatically arranged on her Carlo Bugatti chaise lounge, swathed in an apricot silk robe, propped up by a dozen velvet pillows in assorted crimson hues, with a cashmere eye pillow over her face, and the blood pressure monitor conveniently tied around her left arm. Even in her discomfort, not a single strand of her signature chin-length bob appeared out of place, and the Countess, in her 6th decade, retained the strikingly photogenic features that at once upon a time made her a sought-after fashion model. "Lady Greshamsbury," Thomas greeted her formally. Observing the protocol he knew she expected, even though he was her husband's closest friend and had been her neighbor and family doctor for decades. The Countess removed her eye pillow, almost in slow motion, but kept her eyes closed. "Hiya! What took you so long?" Arabella said in a tone she reserved for Thomas Tong and other Asians she deemed inferior to her. "I can't open my eyes. The room keeps spinning. Gracie just checked my blood pressure 2 minutes ago. 190/140. "Not bloody likely. You'd be quite dead if that were the case," Thomas said, looking down at the machine. Your arm needs to be level with your heart when you take the reading." "Did I have a transient ischemic stroke? I'm absolutely convinced I did. You have no idea what happened in the middle of the night." "Tell me," Thomas said calmly, taking out his own blood pressure monitor and strapping it on her upper arm. "Where's my phone? Where's my phone?" Arabella felt around the cushions weakly with her right hand. "Well, your diction is impeccable as ever. You're certainly not slurring. Any numbness or loss of vision?" "I'm numb everywhere. My fingers and toes feel like they're on fire." "That's not numbness," Thomas said patiently. Arabella waved a hand in the air helplessly. "Gracie, where the hell is my phone?" "It's in your other hand, ma'am." Arabella held it up to Thomas. Look! "Now, you need to be completely still while I take the reading. No talking. That's a very nice picture on the cover of Hola magazine." "Hiya, not that one. Gracie, show him the video." Gracie swiped past the screensaver and held up the video that had been sent to Arabella in the middle of the night. "Spectacular," Thomas said, marveling at the high-res video of lava shooting out of a cliffside like a geyser. Arabella bolted up from the chaise, her cashmere eye pillow falling to the floor. "Spectacular? Seeing that almost killed me. That lava you see is a volcanic fissure that opened up earlier today, right in the middle of the garden where Augusta's wedding ceremony is supposed to be." "Well, looks like it'll be a spectacular ceremony." "You don't get it. A volcano basically erupted at the wedding site. The Balinese pavilion, the replica of the bar at Lulu's, the ballroom mimicking the checkerboard floors at Chateau Diané. It's all ruined. Everything has been ruined." "I'm sorry to hear that." But the good news is, you'll be safe from the molten lava, and your blood pressure is actually only slightly elevated, which is to be expected considering the circumstances. I think the circumstances are going to be the end of me. Oi, see? Still spinning. I can't even sit up, Arabella moaned, sinking against her pillows again. What medications did you take last night? Only Ambien, melatonin, Cipralex, and Zoloft.
Oh my gosh.
And I added 2 baby aspirin when I was feeling the symptoms of the stroke.